Hello students, welcome to Lotus High School. This is Sir from Lotus High School. Here we study a chapter in the science subject. And the name of the chapter is Acids, Bases and Salts. And here part 11. In this part 11, what are the topics are there today? I will explain that topics. So here the topics are chemicals from common salt. Here common salt means NaCl. From that NaCl, what chemicals we have to make? That chemicals today I will explain. So here that in that one first one is uses of baking soda. Why? Because in that previous video I explained that how baking soda is completely prepared in that industry. So that preparation is completed. Now in this video today I will explain the uses of baking soda and the properties of baking soda. So see here first properties of baking soda. See here, properties means total two properties. One is physical property and the second one is a chemical property. So physical property. First, it's a white crystalline substance. Baking soda. Already in your home also you are observed, or otherwise in that bakery. Baking soda. If you are observed that baking soda is present in that white crystalline state. So see here, crystalline is nothing but in our home that Annapurna salt or rock salt or other sugar. How that sugar, that rock salt, Annapurna salt is present. That nature is known as a crystalline state. So like that, the baking soda is present in the crystalline state and it is present in the white color. So that is a one physical property of the baking soda. And the second one is it gives a strong smell of chlorine. That means here you are getting the doubt, sir. Smell means here and side here strong is given, weak is given. Strong smell is nothing but, for example, the near of your mouth, just you place that jandu bomb, and you are feeling that jandu bomb smell contains very 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 strong compared to that amurtanya. Okay, first jandu bomb and next amurtanya. Once you observe that smell compared to that two smells, if you are observed that amurtanya contains very strong nature. So that is known as what is a strong smell. So here baking soda is contain the strong smell of chlorine. What is the smell? Belong to that chlorine. That same smell is belongs to this baking soda, and it is sparingly soluble in that water. That means sparingly soluble in sparingly is nothing but sparingly is nothing but very little amount, not in the large amount. For example, 1 liter water you take. In that 1 liter water, just you place that 1 kg of baking soda. That 1 kg of baking soda is not soluble in that water. In that 1 kg of baking soda, just 100 grams or 50 grams of baking soda is soluble in water. So that is known as sparingly. That means small amount. So these are the physical properties of baking soda. Okay, here this is a 3 marks question. Write the properties of baking soda. Simply write it has a white crystalline nature. And what is the smell of that baking soda? It has a smell of chlorine. And how that baking soda is soluble in water. Simply don't write that the baking soda is simply soluble in water. You write that the baking soda is soluble in water in that very little amount. So in the place of little amount, just use the word sparingly. Sparangly. Okay, these are the physical properties of baking soda. Next, chemical properties of baking soda. Chemical properties are nothing but reacting with the other chemicals. And your important thing is that the baking soda contains a base nature. What is the nature? Base nature. That means here, if you are placed the red litmus paper, the red litmus paper is immediately converting into a blue color. So the solution which is converting the red litmus paper into that blue, that solution contains the basic nature. So here the baking soda contains a basic nature. So for conducting, that means you take the baking soda and place the baking soda in that water and place a blue litmus paper. Immediately within a fraction of a second, it is converted into red. So the red indicates the baking soda contains a basic nature. So see here, first chemical property, action of heat. Action of heat. So take one dry test tube. In the dry test tube, just you place some amount of baking soda, water, sodium hydrogen carbonate, water, sodium bicarbonate. Okay, place little amount, and and at the bottom position of the test tube, arrange one spirit lamp and give some amount of heat. When that heat is reaches to this chemical on that time, this chemical is decomposes is nothing but splits. So here this baking soda or sodium hydrogen carbonate is decomposes into that Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. So this Na2CO3 is nothing but sodium hydrogen carbonate, and CO2 is a carbon dioxide gas and H2O. So okay, you're given heat. When you are given heat on the time from the test, the carbon dioxide gas will come outside and is mixed with the atmosphere. Not mixed, it is mixed in the atmosphere. And finally, if you are observe the test tube, in the test tube, Na2CO3 and water is present. So if you touch that Na2CO3, it contains little bit wet nature. Little bit wet nature. So see, NaCO3 is nothing but sodium bicarbonate, ORR, sodium hydrogen carbonate, ORR, baking soda. On heating, gives rise to sodium carbonate. The form of sodium carbonate is Na2CO3, carbon dioxide and water. This is a first chemical equation. Next, action with acid. Already before I told that baking soda contains base nature. So due to that base nature, it is reacting with the acid. See here, baking soda is reacting with that hydrochloric acid. It gives that NaCl plus CO2 plus water. Okay, let me say take one dry test tube. In the dry test tube, just you place some amount of sodium bicarbonate. To this bicarbonate, add hydrochloric acid or other sulfuric acid or nitric acid. Add it and observe it. From that test tube, a colorless gas, carbon dioxide gas is evolved. Which gas is evolved? Carbon dioxide gas is evolved. After total evolving of carbon dioxide gas in the test tube, NaCl and water is present. NaCl is present in that crystalline state and up that water is present. By using the filter, we can separate that NaCl from that water. So this is a second chemical property. Okay. So only two are there. First one, action on heat, and the second one is action with that acid. Here you can write HCl. That means you can take hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. So see here, in these two chemical reaction, one is completely common. That is CO2, carbon dioxide. So see here in the second reaction, so carbon dioxide. Here CO3, one point you keep in your mind. If any substance contains CO3, if you are given heat, if you are reacted that chemical substance with any other substance, that means acid substance, definitely it will produce the carbon dioxide gas. So here important one more question is that when the carbonates are reacted with that acid, the evolved gas is carbon dioxide gas, and this is one of the important chemical property of the acid. So see here what happens when the acid is reacted with the sodium bicarbonate, it will produce carbon dioxide gas. So this chemical property belongs to this topic, and same these chemical properties belongs to that acid also. Here action of sodium bicarbonate with acid, reverse action of acid with sodium bicarbonate. Carbonate is there with CO2. Next, use of baking soda. This is very important question. Uh, 3 marks, another is 2 marks, not 2 marks, 1 mark, another 5 marks. First, used in that fire extinguisher. Once you see here, these are cylinders, not water bottle. Okay, here two cylinders are given. Don't think that this is a water bottle. This is also a fire extinguisher, but this fire extinguisher does not contain any knob. This is this one contains knob. Fire extinguisher, say this fire extinguisher is present in the cars, buses, and the school campus also on that wall, this one is present. So this is known as a fire extinguisher, and the meaning of extinguisher is nothing but to stop the fire. The meaning of extinguisher is to stop the fire. So in this fire extinguisher, up sulfuric acid is present, down baking soda, that is nothing but NaHCO3 is present. When this one is compressed, on the time that acid bottle will break. When acid bottle is breaks, the acid slowly moves down and it touches that NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda. When it touches, the reaction will take place and carbon dioxide gas comes outside. There carbon dioxide gas is completely passes on fire, and your carbon dioxide gas is a that is a non-supporter of combustion. So here baking soda is used in that fire extinguisher. Second one, using the antacid in medicine to remove the acidity of the stomach. So see here, already in our stomach hydrochloric acid is present. Already in our stomach hydrochloric acid is present, and it is also maintain the certain pH value. Sometimes if you are eating that extra amount of food, on that time here the acidity will be increases. That means the pH value will be decreases. I already told that in our stomach acid is present, that acid is hydrochloric acid, and that hydrochloric acid contains certain pH value. If it maintains certain pH value, we are not feeling anything. But sometimes due to that overfood or due to that different nature of that food, here what happens here, that acidity will be increases. Acidity is increases is nothing, the pH value will be decreases. When the pH value is decreases, we are feeling very acidic nature in our stomach. So for decreasing that acidity in our stomach, we have to take that medicine which contains a basic nature. What is that one here? Basic nature. So the base which is used to decreasing the acidity in our stomach, that base is known as what is antacid. Don't think that the acid which is present in that acid is called as antacid. Okay, not like that. Okay, the acid which is present in ant is called as antacid. That is wrong. Antacid is nothing but okay, the acid which is quite opposite to that acid. That means it contains a base nature. When you are added base to that acidity problem, on that time what you have, that acidity is slowly decreasing. That means here that acid base are neutralized with each other. So here sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda and not washing soda. Baking soda, okay, decreases the acidity in our stomach. Okay, second one is used as the antacid in the stomach to remove the acidity of the stomach. That means for decreasing the acidity in our stomach. So see here, Philippine gel cell, pepside. Okay, these are the antacids. Next, use as the medicines to get relief from the bee's bite. See here, if you are observe the bee, in the bee mouth, that means in the bee sting, formic acid is present. Formic acid is present. When the bee sting is completely touches our skin, through sting, that one is that bee is injecting formic acid in our skin. On that time we are getting little bit of burning sensation. So for getting relief from that burning sensation, add another is place sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda or sodium bicarbonate. Why? Because the sodium hydrogen carbonate, baking soda and sodium uh, hydrogen carbonate contains a basic nature. So that base is reacting with that formic acid and make that one as a neutralize. So on that time we are getting relief from the pain. Next, this is very important question. So many times it is asked in the 3 marks. Okay, everybody is confusing with this topic. Here our topic is baking soda, not baking powder. Our topic is about baking soda, not baking powder. Here the baking powder is different from the baking soda. Okay, so here baking soda is useful for making the baking powder. Are you following or not? Baking powder is different from the baking soda. Okay, here baking soda is useful for making the baking powder. Baking powder is nothing but sodium bicarbonate plus tartaric acid. Tartaric acid. One more question. What is meant by baking powder? Baking powder is nothing but mixture of sodium bicarbonate and tartaric acid. And here This tartaric acid is used for killing scorpion, not killing. If any scorpion is a bite, on that time they are using this acid. Okay, sodium bicarbonate plus tartaric acid is called as a baking powder. Now this baking powder is useful for making the cake. Useful for making the cake. So that's why here what cake prepared in our home is entirely different from the cake which is prepared in the bakery. Bakery cake contains more taste. Okay, and here the cake which is prepared in our home does not contain that much taste because they are adding the baking powder. Here we are adding the baking soda. Okay, here that means they are adding the baking powder. So that due to that nature, it will give the nice taste and it contains more spongy nature. So here, when baking powder is heated, sodium bicarbonate is decomposes to that Na2CO3 and CO2. Okay, are you following or not? That means you take some amount of baking powder and place the baking powder in the test tube. Okay, take test tube. If the test tube pours not pour, place some amount of baking powder, and the bottom you have to keep one spirit lamp, and bottom one you give some amount of it. When the heat is reaches to the baking powder, on that time the baking powder is decomposes to the Na2CO3 and CO2. Okay, so like that here. Okay, so when they are making the cake, that means they are taking the vessel, and what are the materials required for that cake? They are placing the total vessel in the total. They place the total material in that vessel, and that vessel is placed on the gas stove. And down onward they are giving heat. When they are giving heat, the baking powder is decomposes to that Na2CO3 and CO2. So here what CO2 is produced in that material, that carbon dioxide is useful for making the bread and cake to rise. That means uh, in that bread and cake to rise means what here? Just it will come to the bulk shape. What is that bulk shape? So if the bulk shape came means that one contain the spongy nature. So just you have to observe the bread. If you have pressed the bread, you are feeling that it contains the spongy nature. Like that, if you are touches, that means if you are pressed the cake, you are feeling it contains the spongy nature. So that spongy nature is completely brought by that CO2, carbon dioxide gas. Okay, here take vessel. In that vessel, the material required for that making cake is placed in that vessel. That vessel is placed on the gas stove. Down onwards, you give that heat. When you are given heat, okay, on the time that heat is reaches to the baking powder, the baking powder is decomposes to that Na2CO3 and CO2. So two chemical substances will be formed. The two chemical substances, carbon dioxide is useful for making the cake into the spongy nature. Either if you are making the bread, here carbon dioxide which is produced is used, which is produced, that one is making the bread into spongy nature. Okay, carbon dioxide is completed. Next here Na2CO3 will be remain. This Na2CO3 is useful for removing that bitter taste of the tartaric acid. Tartaric acid, sorry, tartaric acid is used to remove the bitter taste. If you are observe this Na2CO3, this Na2CO3 contains the bitter taste. Okay, so first baking powder given heat Na2CO3, CO2 is formed. Okay, CO2, it is done its work. What is that work? Make the cake into spongy nature and make the bread into spongy nature. Next, here Na2CO3 will be removed. So this Na2CO3 contains a base nature, and that bases contain the bitter taste. So due to that bitter taste, the cake will spoil. So that's why here this Na2CO3 is reacted with the tartaric acid. That means this tartaric acid is used to remove the bitter taste due to the formation of sodium carbonate. Okay, are you following or not? Carbon dioxide is useful for making the spongy nature. Tartaric acid is used to remove the bitter taste, which is formed in the making of cake. So this is uses of baking soda in the baking powder. Next, already I told baking powder is used for making the bread as spongy and light. Here, baking powder is nothing but sodium hydrogen carbonate plus tartaric acid. Okay, assignment. Now, what topic I explained? I hope that you understood the topic. You understand the topic. depending upon the topic, your assignment. See that assignment. First question: what is the chemical formula of baking soda? Here, the baking soda is nothing but common name, not a chemical name. What is the chemical formula of baking soda? What is the chemical name of baking soda? You know very well. What is the chemical formula of baking soda? That means here this assignment is related to the previous topic and today's topic. That means a previous video topic and this video topic. In that previous video, we have discussed the making of baking soda. Okay, and what is the common name of sodium hydrogen carbonate? So once you see that questions properly, why? Because all these questions are given in that CBSE papers. That means CBSE board science paper. So here all the questions are completely contains, most probably they contain same answer only. Here total 20 questions are there. In the 20 questions that maybe 15 or 16 contain same answer, but that question is different. The question is different. So if you think it properly, you will write that answer very neatly and nicely. So your thinking is very important. So see here, what is the common name of sodium hydrogen carbonate? What is baking soda? Here, what is the chemical name of baking soda? Here, what is the baking soda? Due to important use of baking soda. Every day you are eating. That is the use of baking soda. Describe how sodium hydrogen carbonate is produced on large scale. Write the equation. Write the equation of the reaction involved. So describe how sodium hydrogen and baking soda, that process name, Solvay's process. By using the Solvay's process, we can make the baking soda. Chemical equation, simple. Three chemicals, enough. In addition to hydrogen carbonate, baking powder. See here. In addition to sodium hydrogen carbonate, baking powder. Here you are thinking that baking powder is nothing but baking soda, sir. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is also a baking soda, but both are different. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is nothing but baking soda, but baking powder is not a baking soda. Baking powder is prepared by using the baking soda. So baking powder contains a substance as X. So baking powder is nothing but sodium hydrogen carbonate plus dash acid. That is the answer for this X. Name the substance X. Okay. Name an acid which is present in the baking powder. Name an acid which is present in the baking powder. So what is the answer belongs to the sixth question. Same answer is belongs to the seventh question. But the question is different. That is the CBSE board. Complete the following sentence. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is a dash soda, whereas sodium carbonate is a dash soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is a dash soda. You know very well this soda. And sodium carbonate is used for dash soda. This soda. What happens when the solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated? Write equation of the reaction involved. So here this question is related to this answer. So here, okay, what answer is belongs to the ninth question? Okay, same answer is belongs to that eighth question of the second bit. Which compound is used as an antacid in the medicine of NaCO3 or Na2CO3? Once you see here, what a simple question. But question is a logic. If you know that logic, you can write an answer in the simple way. So better try to read the topic and afterward think it. If you don't know the topic, you can't able to write that small questions which are given in this manner. Next, a baker found a cake prepared by him is hard and a small in size. Small in size means here what happens? If it is hard means small. If it is a spongy means big size. Which ingredient has he forgotten to add that would have caused the cake to rise up, become lighter? Explain your answer. That means the 11th question answer is completely related to that sixth question and related to that seventh question. Same. Okay, name to constituent of the baking powder, not baking soda. Okay, how does baking powder differ from the baking soda? Okay, baking powder is prepared from the baking soda. Explain why sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as an antacid. So here same question is repeated. That means not same question. What is the answer belongs to this fourth question. Same answer is present in these questions. See here, explain why sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as antacid. Antacid. Okay, here. Complete what solution? NaS cake prepared. Which compound is used as antacid in the medicine? That means here nature is important. Complete and balance the following equation. NaCO3. Which compound is used? Okay, what does the soda acid type of fire extinguisher contain? How does it work? What does the soda acid type of fire extinguisher contain? So this is the answer. This is the answer. How does it works? Give the chemical formula of washing soda and baking soda. Answer is here only. Give the chemical formula of washing soda, baking soda. Explain the action of baking powder in making of a cake. Write the equation of the reaction in what? So here that 18th answer and next here the 11th answer are same only. Explain what happens when a cold and concentrated solution of sodium chloride react with the ammonia and carbon dioxide. The equation of the reaction which has takes place. So 19th question is 19th question answer and 5th question answer are same. And here 19th question and 20th question answer is also same. So see here. So here most probably all that answers, all that questions are contain same answers, but the question is different. So here reading of question is important, okay, and thinking is important. If you have read that question properly and if you are thinking in the different manner, then only you can write answer for the questions which are giving or which are given in that CBSE board science paper. So I hope that okay you understand that topic and these questions related questions answers, not our question answers, questions. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you to all. Have a nice day. Enjoy that day. Thank you all. Bye bye.